Your dog can't say the words "I'm stressed," but their body can. Sometimes the signs are right in front of us. A paw that won't stop licking, a yawn that comes at the strangest moment, a quiet withdrawal we don't fully understand. We tell ourselves they're just being dogs. But what if those small things are really cries for help? Dogs feel stress just like humans do. The difference is they don't have the voice to explain it. Instead, they whisper it through their behavior, subtle, fleeting, and easy to miss. A dog's stress doesn't always look dramatic. It often begins quietly, hidden beneath moments we mistake for habit or personality. And if we ignore those early signs, that stress can grow into fear, anxiety, or even aggression. In this story, we're going to explore the 7 early warning signs of stress in dogs, the small things that matter more than you think. Each one is a clue, a soft message that says, "Something's wrong. Please see me." By learning to recognize these signs, you'll not only help your dog live a calmer, happier life, you'll also deepen the bond between you. Because when we truly listen to our dogs, we don't just become better owners, we become their voice. Have you ever noticed your dog licking the same spot on their paw again and again, or gently chewing at their fur for no clear reason? At first, it might seem harmless, even cute. But when it becomes frequent or obsessive, it's often something deeper, a silent signal of stress. Licking and chewing are self-soothing behaviors. When a dog feels anxious, lonely, or uncertain, their body looks for a way to release tension. The rhythmic motion of licking triggers the release of endorphins, the same calming chemicals that help humans relax after a hug or a warm bath. It gives them a momentary sense of peace. But that peace doesn't last long, and soon they start again, paw after paw, day after day. This kind of behavior can start small, maybe after a change in routine, or when they spend too much time alone. Over time, it can turn into habit, even leading to sore skin or hair loss. That's your dog's way of saying, "I'm overwhelmed. Something doesn't feel right." To help, look beyond the behavior. Ask what might be missing: mental stimulation, comfort, or connection. Spend a few extra minutes playing, cuddling, or creating calm routines. Often, love and consistency do more healing than correction ever could. Because when your dog licks too much, they're not misbehaving, they're coping. And all they really want is for you to notice, to understand the quiet story behind that restless tongue. Sometimes your dog might start yawning again and again, panting heavily even when it's cool, or trembling softly though nothing seems wrong. You might think they're tired, hot, or just being dramatic, but these small physical actions are often your dog's quiet way of saying, "I'm stressed." When a dog yawns outside of bedtime, it's often a displacement behavior. That means they're trying to release tension in a moment that feels uncomfortable. The same goes for panting or shaking when there's no reason to. These are their body's ways of letting out emotional pressure. It's how they try to stay calm when something around them feels off. You might notice it during a car ride, at the vet, or when they're surrounded by loud noises or strangers. It's not random. It's their body whispering, "I'm nervous. I don't feel safe." These reactions are rooted in instinct. In the wild, a stressed animal can't show fear too openly, so it releases stress through small, physical signals. Our dogs still carry that ancient code. When you notice these cues, don't ignore them. Speak softly, move slower, offer reassurance instead of commands. Give them a place to retreat where they feel safe. Because those yawns and shakes aren't quirks. They're the gentle tremors of an anxious heart trying to steady itself. When your dog breathes out that long sigh or licks their lips after a yawn, they're not asking for attention. They're asking for comfort. And you're the only one who can give it. Sometimes, the quietest sign of stress is the easiest to overlook. Maybe your dog walks away when you call them. Maybe they slip under the table during family noise or hide in another room when guests arrive. You might think they're being shy, stubborn, or moody, but in truth, these small disappearances often speak louder than any bark ever could. When a dog starts avoiding eye contact, moving away, or finding tight spaces to hide, they're not trying to misbehave. They're trying to protect themselves. Dogs seek distance when the world feels too big, too loud, or too unpredictable. Just like humans withdraw when overwhelmed, your dog does the same. They retreat into silence, hoping for calm. Common triggers include loud sounds, tension at home, unfamiliar people, or even your own stress. Dogs are emotional mirrors. They absorb the energy around them. If things feel uneasy, they'll quietly slip away to preserve their peace. The worst thing you can do in that moment is force interaction. The best thing, give them space, speak softly, and let them know safety is near. When they're ready, they'll come back to you, not out of fear, but trust. Sometimes, the bravest thing your dog can do is walk away. And when they do, it's not rejection, it's communication. It's their way of whispering, "I just need a moment to breathe." Your dog's appetite and sleep patterns are more than daily routines. They're reflections of how they feel inside. When your dog suddenly eats less, refuses treats they once loved, or begins sleeping far more than usual, it's often not just physical, it's emotional. Stress can quietly alter their hunger and energy, just like it does in humans. A dog under emotional strain might lose interest in food because their nervous system is on high alert. Their body is too busy processing tension to enjoy eating. Others might sleep longer, not because they're tired, but because sleep becomes a way to escape discomfort. It's their body's quiet form of self-protection. Sometimes these shifts follow big changes, a move, a new pet, or even your own altered routine. Dogs feel these ripples deeply. Their world revolves around stability, and when that stability shakes, so does their sense of peace. When you notice these changes, don't panic, but don't ignore them either. Reassure with gentle consistency, feed them calmly, create quiet spaces, and spend quality time together. Stress doesn't vanish overnight, but love and predictability slowly rebuild balance. Because when your dog's rhythms change, it's not disobedience or indifference. It's their way of saying, "Something feels different, and I need your comfort to feel safe again." It can be shocking when a normally gentle dog suddenly growls, snaps, or barks at something or someone they've always tolerated. But before you label it as bad behavior, take a closer look. Often, aggression isn't anger. It's fear. It's stress turned into self-defense. When dogs feel cornered, overwhelmed, or threatened, their instinct tells them to protect themselves. They can't say, "I'm scared," so they show it in the only way they can, by creating distance. A growl is their way of saying, "Please stop. I need space." But too often, that growl is punished instead of understood. Stressful triggers can be small: a sudden noise, a new visitor, or a child running too fast. Even a gentle touch at the wrong moment can feel like too much. The dog's heart races, their body stiffens, and that tension erupts. But underneath the reaction lies confusion, not cruelty. The key is empathy, not anger. Step back, stay calm, and give them space. Later, work slowly to rebuild comfort and trust. Because when stress shows up as aggression, It's your dog saying, I don't feel safe right now. Every growl, bark, or snap is communication, not defiance. Listen carefully. It's your dog's way of asking you to help them find calm again. You've seen it before. Your dog walking in circles, wandering from room to room, or lying down only to stand right back up a few seconds later. It's as if they can't settle, even when everything seems fine. This isn't just boredom, it's restlessness, born from stress. When dogs pace, their body is acting out what their heart can't say. That constant movement is their way of releasing nervous energy. Just like humans might tap their foot or wring their hands when anxious, dogs walk. It's an instinctive attempt to manage an emotion they don't understand. This kind of restlessness often appears during moments of uncertainty, when you're leaving the house, during thunderstorms, or when something in their environment changes. It's their body's way of saying, I can't relax because I don't feel safe. Sometimes, dogs also pace when they sense your stress. They absorb your emotions like sponges, mirroring the unease they feel from you. The best response isn't to command them to stop, it's to reassure them through presence and consistency. Speak softly, offer calm energy, sit near them, and let them know it's okay. Because a restless dog isn't disobedient, they're searching for peace. And when they finally stop pacing and rest near you, it means they've found what they were looking for, the calm that lives in your presence. Sometimes, your dog's stress doesn't make a sound. It shows up in the smallest shifts of their body. The tail that tucks between their legs, the ears that flatten tight against the head, the stiff back or wide, uneasy eyes. These are the quiet messages that say, I'm scared, I'm uncomfortable. I need space. Dogs communicate through movement long before they bark or growl. A tucked tail is like a whispered apology. A frozen posture says, I don't know what to do. Even subtle signals, like a quick lip lick, a yawn at the wrong time, or turning their head away, can mean your dog is trying to calm themselves or diffuse tension. These early cues often come before any obvious reaction. If we catch them, we can step in with comfort before the stress turns into fear or aggression. But too often, we miss them, thinking our dog is just being quiet. Learning to read your dog's body language is like learning a new language of love. It takes patience, observation, and empathy. Watch their eyes, their breathing, the way their weight shifts. Those details are your roadmap to their emotions. Because when you start noticing what your dog's body is trying to say, you'll realize something beautiful. They've been talking to you all along. You just needed to learn how to listen. Stress in dogs rarely begins with a bark or a bite. It starts quietly, in the smallest gestures. A yawn that lingers too long, a paw that keeps licking, a sigh, a stare, a silence. These are the whispers before the storm, the ways your dog tries to tell you something's wrong long before it becomes visible. By noticing early, you can change everything. You can bring comfort before fear grows, safety before tension builds, and love before anxiety takes hold. Understanding your dog's stress isn't just about preventing problems. It's about deepening your bond. It's about saying, I see you, even when you don't speak. Your dog doesn't want perfection from you. They just want patience, presence, and the reassurance that you'll listen. They don't hide their feelings to deceive you. They do it because they're afraid you won't understand. But when you learn their language, you become the calm they've been searching for. So tonight, when your dog yawns, sighs, or looks away, take a moment to look closer. That's not indifference, it's communication. Listen before it's too late, because sometimes the smallest signs carry the biggest meaning. A quiet plea for love, comfort, and peace. And in the end, The greatest gift you can give your dog isn't words, it's understanding.